video is for using algebra to solve word problems. So we're going to use what we learned in the last video, translating expressions and equations from words to now solve algebraic problems. So the first thing you want to do is declare your variables. So use let statements to define your variable. Then you're going to set up an equation and solve, and you're going to translate it into an equation using your let statements, and then solve. And then define your answer, show exactly what the problem is asking for. So the first one here says the larger of two numbers is 4 more than the smaller number. So I've got a smaller number, and then I've got a larger number, and I know that larger number is going to be 4 more than my original number. So it would be x plus 4. And then the second question here says if the sum of the numbers is 74, find the numbers. So again, sum means add, so I would do x plus 4 equals 74. So this is my first number, this is my second number. So to solve this, we would combine like terms, and then we would solve the equation. So I would have 2x equals 70, and so x would equal 35. So my smaller number would equal 35, and my larger number is going to equal 35 plus 4, which would be 39. So if you go back and you check your work and you add these together, just what it says, the sum of these should be 74. That's exactly what we get. All right, so the next one says the larger of two numbers is 6 less than twice the smaller number. So x is going to be my smaller number. The larger numbers is 6 less than twice the smaller number. So I would double the smaller number and then subtract 6. Now it says if the sum of the numbers is 42, so again we're going to add these together. So x plus 2x minus 6 is going to equal 42. So we combine like terms. And then if we solve, so if I add 6 to both sides, I get 3x equals 48. And then I can divide both sides by 3. And so 48 divided by 3 would say x equals 16. So my smaller number is going to equal 16. And then to find my larger number, I can just plug 16 in for x there. And here I would get 26. So this would be my larger number. And again, if you add these together, you get 42, which confirms your answer. All right, so the next type are the perimeter of rectangles. So the length of a rectangle is 6 inches more than its width. So we've got a rectangle here. So here's its width. So the length is going to equal 6 inches more than its width. So it would be width plus 6. If the perimeter of a rectangle is 24 inches, find its dimensions. So perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2 width. And so I can plug in my values here, and that equals perimeter. So I could do 2. So again, my length is width plus 6 plus 2 times the width. And then I would distribute. So I would have 2W plus 12 plus 2W equals the perimeter. So then I can combine like terms. And now I can solve. So it tells me the perimeter is 24. So I'm going to cancel this out and put a 24 there. So if I subtract 12 from both sides, I would get 4W equals 12, which means the width would equal 3. So I found the width, but I need to find the other dimension. I need to find the length. So again, I can just plug this in here, and my length would equal 9 inches. So again, you can check your work. 9 and 9 is 18. 3 and 3 is 6. And that would give me a perimeter of 24. All right, the next one, the length of a rectangle is 5 inches more than 4 times its width. All right, so here's my rectangle, here's my width. The length is going to equal 5 inches more than 4 times its width. So 4 times its width plus 5. So remember 2L plus 2w equals the perimeter. So 2 times 4w plus 5 plus 2 times the width, and then it tells me my perimeter is 90. So if we distribute here, we get 8w plus 10 plus 2w equals 90. Combine my like terms, so 10w plus 10 equals 90. And if I solve this here, so 90 minus 10 gives me an 80. 80 divided by 10 gives me an 8. So my width is going to equal 8. Plug this back in, so 4 times 8 plus 5 would give me a length of 37. And again, to check, 2 times your length would give you 74. 2 times your width would give you 16. And that equals 90. All right, so finding consecutive numbers. So consecutive means back to back. So 6, 7, and 8 would be consecutive numbers. So again, an example of consecutive numbers, any numbers that fall in a row. So 10, 11, 12, you could even keep going, 13, 14, 15. Consecutive even numbers would be 2, 4, 6. Again, you could keep going, and you can start anywhere. You could do 8, 10, 12. And then consecutive odd numbers, so 3, 5, and 7, or start anywhere, 13, 15, 17. These are all consecutive odd numbers. So the sum of two consecutive numbers is 123. Find the numbers. Okay, so I've got two numbers and they're going to be consecutive. So my first number would be x, and then my second number is going to be x plus 1, because all we do to find a consecutive number is we've just added 1. So the sum of these, x plus 1, is going to equal 123. So if we combine like terms, and then we solve, so subtract 1 from both sides. And so here, 122 divided by 2, x is going to equal 61, which means my consecutive numbers would be 61. And then again, we can plug it in here. My next number would be 62. And if you add those up, 61 plus 62 do give you 123. All right, the sum of two consecutive numbers is 85. Find the numbers. So x and x plus 1 are my consecutive numbers. So if you wanted to add a third consecutive number, say it said 3 consecutive numbers, you could do x plus 1, and then x plus 2. Because to go to your third consecutive number, you would just add 2 to your original. So just so you have that. So here, if I combine like terms, I would have 2x plus 1 equals 85. Subtract the 1 from both sides, and then divide 84 by 2. X is going to equal 42. So my consecutive numbers would be 42 and 43. So that's it for this video.